What's up, coaster fans? Today's coaster review is for Desperado, once the world's tallest coaster, located at Buffalo Bill's Hotel and Casino in Primm, Nevada. This coaster is legendary for being one of the first things you see as you cross the California-Nevada state line. Its yellow track contrasts with the red hotel it winds around, and it's hard not to stop inside to grab a ride. Aerodynamics built this ride in 1994 back in their heyday, already boasting other monster hypercoasters like Magnum XL200, Big One, and Steel Phantom. It's visually stunning against the desert backdrop, and it's lured me in for several rides over the past 17 years. In 2001, I even marathoned this 10 times in a row, something that wasn't too bright then and something I definitely would not recommend now. So let's get into the ride experience. You enter the casino and work your way all the way to the back where you buy your tickets. It's going to cost you $14 for one ride, or you can get a $30 all-day wristband for all the attractions, or if you get there after 5 o'clock, that wristband will only cost you $22. You walk up the stairs into the usually empty station because, let's face it, most of the people that visit Buffalo Bills are 60 plus and are not going to ride this monster Aero. You buckle your seatbelt and pull down your typical Aero lap bar, which is the same one you'll find on Magnum. You dip out of the station and up the lift hill, coming out of the hotel into the hot Nevada desert air. Take in the view of the desert on the California side of the border until you reach the top of the 209-foot lift and dive down the drop, which starts out at a shallow angle and then gets steeper as it dives into the tunnel. You would think this would provide better airtime than it actually does. At the bottom of that tunnel, you're absolutely hauling as you pull up into the first awkward transition before the train takes a very shallow dive into a turn that reminds me a bit of Son of Beast's Rose Bowl. You pick up all of that speed again before pulling up and turning back towards the casino. Another gradual drop leads to the first great moment of ejector air, back down to the next gradual drop and into an awkward transition, and then down the second and final great airtime moment. Say what you want about these Aero hypers, but they have some insane ejector moments. One more awkward airtimeless hill leads into a turn into the mid-course brake run, which gives you a second to recover from an absolutely insane and fast, bittersweet first half of the ride. After the mid-course brakes, you gradually wind around the casino's entrance, picking up a ton of speed so the train can traverse the ride's finale, which is the upward Helix inside the fake mountain. This is a fun element, but isn't a bone crusher like Titan's upward Helix before the mid-course. Once it exits the mountain, the speed is pretty much gone as it dives under the monorail track and back up into the final brakes before re-entering the station inside the casino. This is a polarizing ride with significant pros and cons. So let's start with the cons. It's a rough ride. Like most old Aeros, it jerks you around. Magnum does this a little as well, but it's not nearly as bad as Desperado. It would be easy to peg that on Cedar Point maintaining their rides better than Buffalo Bills, but I truly believe the track profile on Desperado is much worse than it is on Magnum. There are several awful transitions on this ride that no amount of maintenance can fix. Another con is that it's very expensive to ride this for one time. You can get the wristband, but given how much it beats you up, you may not want to marathon this thing. The last con is that its layout could be much better. The first drop is the only steep drop. Everything else is very gradual, and it robs the ride from being more thrilling. Now for the pros. This is a super long ride with a layout that wraps all around the hotel. This makes the $14 tab feel like it's worth the cost. It's also a speed machine, and you really feel it in the tunnel after the first drop and at the bottom of that sweeping turn following the gradual plunge. It also has some great ejector air on those hills before the mid-course brakes. This coaster is a monster, and it delivers some very solid thrills. So where did this rank on my top 50? It doesn't even sniff it. In fact, if you saw my video for my top 10 Aero coasters, this didn't even make the list, though it probably would have been my number 11. All that being said, if you have $14 burning a hole in your pocket and you're crossing the state line, don't throw it away in the slot machine. Buy a ticket and get a ride on Desperado. Let me know what you think of Desperado in the comments below. Also, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you all next time.